Please come in, Kunal, please.
order change करें
Good evening, sir.
अच्छा,
I got you.
May I take
Please,
the seat, sir?
Please, Kunal, have your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Kunal,
Sir.
this is your second interview?
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes,
How many
sir.
attempts? Third?
Third attempt, sir.
Third attempt. Last interview, how did it go?
Sir, not very well.
How much?
So I got 160, sir.
160. Maybe another 10 marks. What was the difference?
Sir, to be honest, I don't really know. There were some ways, some places where I was not sure about my answer.
No, but what was the difference between qualifying cutoff?
Cutoff, sir.
कितने नंबर से रह गया आपका
18 marks, sir.
18. So it's a pleasure that your father is in the IPS.
Yes, sir.
He is IG BSF
Yes, sir.
just now. He has given you some tips?
Little bit, sir.
Okay. Now, Kunal, let's tell me something about Asian geopolitics. You are a master in that. I would learn from you.
Sir,
In 2 minutes, nutshell, very brief, you have to tell me something, the major significant features of Asian geopolitics.
Sir, Asia has rightly been called the cradle of human civilization, giving birth to two ancient civilizations, be China and India. And this has resulted in many power centers. And it is the politics and relations between these power centers that has shaped the Asian geopolitics. If we take a geographical journey through Asia, the most volatile places begin in the South China Sea, where China, under its 9-line policy, is trying to usurp some areas which it does not belong, according to UN clause. If we take a left turn, sir, and move towards India, South Asian region has always been a hotbed because of the geopolitical rivalry between Pakistan and India, specifically due to the colonial bloody borders that are present. If we take again a right turn, sir, and go upward, we go to the Central Asian region, which is often called as the underbelly of Russia. And many great powers have been there trying to take leverage of this underbelly and poke the bear. Going
what
down,
percentage of the total GDP is Asia?
sir,
That's an important player.
yes, sir.
That's an important characteristic.
Of Russia, sir.
No, of the total world GDP, would you call what would the Asian region would comprise? What percentage of the world's total GDP?
So the total GDP is around $98 trillion. China comprises approximately 17, India 3.7, and perhaps all the rest combined another $5 to $6 trillion. So it's about $25-26 trillion.
25, 26.
So as per my
25%.
As per my knowledge, sir.
Now, since you have been exposed to the civil services,
Sir.
what is the administrative services? Or allow me to put the question in a different way. Has IAS failed the nation?
Sir, I wouldn't say that it has failed the nation. Rather, it has been one of the pillars of India's success as a democracy, be it be it past IAS like T.N. Session, who was responsible for bringing up the electoral reforms, or for that matter, sir, various cabinet secretaries which have helped steer the nation in times of crisis like 1991 LPG reforms.
Only specific individuals make a mark. IAS in general do not.
So they are just a few examples to showcase the brilliance that IAS brings. It is if we talk in particular with facts, it becomes easier to substantiate the answer.
What ails the administrative service?
So the administrative service is the backbone on which the permanent bureaucracy rests upon. The IAS has been tasked with manning all the important posts in district administration.
There is no weakness or anything. I mean, I've asked the question. Okay,
Sir.
fine, we know it's the backbone and all that. But my question is, what ails the administrative service?
So it is responsible for advising the political leadership regarding policy formulation as well as the policy implementation on the ground. Secondly, sir, it is also
What ails? You understand
So
the word
ails, sir.
ails?
So I thought is, sir.
Ails, eh?
Yes, sir.
AILS.
Yes, sir.
You understand, or should I put it in a different way?
No, sir, I understand. So one thing that has often been told is the generalist nature of the services, whereby in the liberal world order.
That's one.
Secondly,
time is
sir,
short, let's be focused.
Secondly, sir, the hierarchy that still exists in the bureaucratic structure, whereby there is lot of
Hierarchy
distance.
brings discipline,
So one way,
rule of order.
They do bring, sir, but they also bring compartmentalization as well.
Okay.
So there needs to be a healthy balance.
Number 3.
Sir, the promotion, sir,
It's not merit based.
So to a certain extent, it is not merit based and seniority based.
Okay. Number 4.
Sir, the training, the in-service training, sir, enough has not been provided in terms of resources to upgrade the skill level of IAS as the career
Okay,
projects.
we'll leave it at that.
Sir,
Very recently, JNU brought out a code of conduct.
sir,
You are aware of this?
yes, sir, I'm aware.
So I will not amplify.
Sir,
Do you think a university, especially a university like JNU, an institution like JNU,
sir,
such a code of conduct is desirable?
Sir, I do think it is desirable in certain aspects. JNU has become a hotbed, as many people call it.
Has become or was always?
Sir, as per my knowledge, it has become.
Okay.
The people there are
They are doing illegal things.
not illegal things, sir, but unsubstantiated protests, which are not backed by.
Is it unique to JNU?
No, sir, it is not. There are many universities across the nation which have taken part in protest. There was a recent investigation done in 2016 where people accused the JNU students of holding a rally on the death occasion of Afzal Guru.
Okay, now, in this context,
Sir.
since you know so much and I'm quite impressed, I'll take the names of 3 US universities. Tell me what was the issue and how it was handled.
Sir,
University of Pennsylvania, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and the Harvard University. What was common to the 3 very recently?
so the Palestine
Okay.
issue.
And it's something connected to JNU also.
Yes, sir.
Now, how it was handled by the University of Pennsylvania and how was it handled by Harvard?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of that.
In the University of Pennsylvania, the director resigned.
Okay, sir. I'll read about it, sir.
And said that I will not compromise. In Harvard, they said the director will continue and what they were doing was right.
Okay, sir.
Was what they were doing, was it unsubstantiated?
Sir, it is one thing to protest, but it is another thing to become violent or try to propagate some extremist ideologies within the garb of protesting.
Chal. Thank you, Kunal.
Sir.
Kunal, you come from a very prestigious institution, BITS Pilani.
Sir.
But in spite of the fact that we are 4 billion people, in spite of the fact that we take pride that we are almost world leader in terms of science and technology, and we are the largest pool of scientists and engineers, do you think that our educational policy is all right? We have not been able to add anything new or substantially new to the existing pool of knowledge. We do not have many Nobel laureates. There must be something wrong with our education system. What exactly is ailing our education?
So can I take a few seconds, sir? Sir, I think one of the primary things that ails our education system is our excessive focus on curriculum-based learning rather than activity-based learning. So people from a young age are told to score more marks to get a good job. Instead, they are not told to gather knowledge which could be utilized for serving the society.
Right.
And
So what you're trying to say is that focus is primarily on acquisition of knowledge
yes,
and
sir.
not on application.
Right, sir.
Wonderful. Very good. Tell me, what is the problem in creating many jobs within the country? That is the biggest problem. Unemployment is the biggest problem in this country at this point of time.
Sir.
Why so, and how can we address it?
Sir, I feel that we missed a very big and crucial sector, that is the industrial sector, and perhaps that is the reason
But why? I'm asking why.
Sir, the major reason would be the infrastructure that was required for the industrial creation. So whenever industries are there, the logistics has to be there, the supply chain management has to be carried out, and that is very costly. In that scenario, sir, India did not have enough resources to build those infrastructure, and that's why we jumped the gun. And so directly from
Jump the gun.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
So we directly jump from the agrarian-based economy to service-based economy without undergoing the industrial
तो जरूरी है
transformation.
कि हम पहले मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जाएं. Where is the need? If we are unable to become commercially viable, economically viable in the manufacturing sector, there is no point in trying to adopt a manufacturing sector. Let's go to the service sector. This is what Vajiram Rajan has recently said in his article. He said there is no point because India, whatever it does, cannot compete with many other nations in manufacturing.
Sir, I beg to differ.
All right.
In a country with 1.4 billion people, I don't think services sector could create enough jobs, and that's why the industrial sector is required.
So now tell me why we have not been able to create so many jobs as per our requirement in the manufacturing. So you said the supply chain and etc. But what is the problem? Do you think that's the only issue? Supply chain अगर हम बनाएंगे तो उससे तो और jobs create होंगी.
Sir.
But manufacturing को तो manufacturing, if we have got good manufacturing, it will add to the supply chain.
Sir, I think both of them are interlinked.
Absolutely.
So-
So what is ailing our manufacturing sector then? Why are we not able to put up our units, manufacturing units, which can compete in the globalized economy?
Sir, I could think of three reasons. First reason being the administrative policies of land acquisition and special economic zones, which is not comparable to the competitive policies of China.
Okay.
Secondly, sir, skilled labor. Skill development is a big issue in India, and disguised employment therefore takes precedence.
Well,
So the third issue being lack of FDI in technology sector. After the 1991 LPG reform, there has not been a significant change of this magnitude, which could liberalize the economy in forwarding crucial FDI in terms of knowledge, in terms of technology. And that's where industrial units are not being able to set up. But yes, sir, recently we have started to do so. The Noida plants regarding manufacturing is currently producing more than 2 crore mobile handsets, and we are the second largest
that is
manufacturer.
not basically manufacturing, it is basically assembly, by the way.
So it's assembly, but this is a good step. It's a step in the right
Yes,
direction.
there is no doubt, I'm not disputing that.
No, sir, we are also trying to build a semiconductor infrastructure in
We are
India.
very far off.
Yes, sir, we are far off from that.
I was a regional secretary IT, so I understand. It's very far. We make a lot of noise.
Sir,
All right, my last, this is a simple thing. If you are going from Gangotri to, say, Havra, along the river Ganges, tell me the important towns which you will come across and the state to which they belong to.
so the first town in Uttarakhand, Haridwar.
Okay.
Then we'll enter UP, sir. In UP, first Allahabad, sir, will be there. In Prayagraj, then Varanasi would be there. Then we'll enter Bihar. I'm not able to recollect the name, sir. And then after that, we'll go to
It's a
Kolkata.
simple geography of class 6, 7th.
Sorry, sir, I'll brush up on this, sir.
Thank you very much, Kunal.
Thank you, sir.
Chaudhary sir.
You studied civil engineering with minors in finance. Why, Kunal, what properties make cement as an excellent construction material?
So the cement has a natural tendency to harden when water is evaporated from it through the process of curing. And the basic material is silica, aluminium, iron, and
Not
calcium
only
oxide.
harden, it expands, so it goes into the pores.
Yes, sir.
That is the main thing.
So,
It
sir-
does harden.
So 4 elements are there: C3S, C2S, C4AF.
I asked you the properties which make it. Another could be maybe very good compression strength.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You studied finance, so you must be exposed to the basic financial statements,
Sir.
balance sheet, profit loss, and cash flow statement, as per the Companies Act. Which year the latest Companies Act is there?
So
2000?
2013, sir.
Very good. Which one it superseded?
Sir, as far as I can recall, 1950.
1956.
Six.
You are close to that. Okay, why land as a asset? Now we call it application of funds. Why that is neither appreciated nor depreciated? Have you ever tried to think on this interesting factor? Machinery they depreciate everything. Why not land?
So land is basically a fixed asset. It does not depreciate because The space is there forever.
Even machinery is a fixed asset. Even land and building they depreciate.
No, so there is wear and tear in machinery and building, which is not the case with land. So if you build a building on the land,
Americans on the other side,
sir,
who follow principle-based, so-called principle-based standards of accounting,
sir,
unlike India which follows rule-based, they market to the market. That was the whole reason why you see the prime failure was there, because
Sir.
the very thing on which mortgages were there, the value fell in the market.
So the land did not depreciate that much, but the housing sector depreciated. So
Okay.
that led to a catastrophe.
You have been, you are again from engineering background.
Sir,
We are moving towards the ethanol-based fuels.
sir,
By the year 225,
yes, sir.
we are likely to reach, I mean, the government is aiming that
Sir.
what percentage will be ethanol component part of the fuels?
Sir, 20%.
You are close, it's 25%.
25%.
Okay, now I find from your CV, DAF, that very interesting. You have been secretary of the entrepreneurial
Leadership, sir.
Secretary Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership for Frugal Innovation.
Sir.
And you yourself, with due respect, appear to be running away from, and rather than being an entrepreneur, you are getting into the administration.
Sir.
So how could you have led an organization without really, at a mental level being a part of it?
Sir, I think the need of the hour today is that entrepreneurs also enter civil services, because there are large problems in the society, and which needs innovative minds, which needs problem-solving minds.
This need of hour was there at that point of time also, maybe 3-4 years back, or it was just a reason?
Sir,
You were the secretary of the
Sir.
center.
sir.
But did you, at any stage of life, did you ever feel, why not take up entrepreneurship? As one of my fellow members have said, that
Sir.
manufacturing, no doubt it's not so much. There is debates on that, assembly in India, manufacturing in India. I'll put it separately. What is the mortality rate roughly of the startups in India?
Sir,
Rough figure. I'll give you a 90%,
Sir.
70%, 50%.
so I think above 90%, sir.
That's correct. It is above 90%.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I also find that you are from Rajasthan. What are the border problems Rajasthan faces with our neighbor on the other side, Pakistan? What are the issues?
Sir, the border is completely demarcated. It is an
Okay.
international boundary, but
Okay.
that does not mean that Pakistan has left its.
Does it have a fence also now?
Yes, sir, it is completely
It has a
fenced.
complete fence.
Completely fenced, sir.
Your father is from the BSF. At what distance the officers are posted between one officer to other
Sir,
on the actual?
So there is no fixed distance that has been mandated. It depends upon the topography that is there and the amount of activity that Pakistan is undertaking. Depending upon that, our forces try to mirror them so that no untoward incident happens.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, Kunal, my first question is, you have given home state Tripura.
Sir.
How come? What is that connection?
So
Father
my,
is at Jodhpur and, Lucknow. Then how come Tripura?
so my father belongs to Indian Police Service from Tripura cadre. So I spent my formative years in Tripura. My sister was also born there. So I feel it as a home.
Okay. Now, but your Indian Police Service is your choice number 3.
Yes, sir.
What are the core principles of police reforms in 3 or 4 words?
So citizen-centric police services.
Okay.
So based upon this mantra, I think everything else tries to converge at that particular point.
In 3 words, one is citizen-centric, and I need 2 more words
So
on police reforms.
So second, so discipline and integrity of the policing services. And
Okay.
third, sir, empathy towards the people for proper mandate of social justice.
Okay, let's take, go into a different dimension now.
Sir.
Left-wing extremism.
Sir,
The Honorable Home Minister at that point of time has given a principle. What is that principle? Again in acronym.
sir, as far as I can recall, the Samarth scheme was,
I don't know because, father belongs to police service.
sir,
Your choice number 3 is Indian Police Service.
sir,
The then Honorable Home Minister Rajnath Singh gave an acronym.
sorry, sir, I'm not able to
Okay,
recall.
let's go to a different dimension now. Caste survey or caste census versus ACECC. Are you familiar about this ACECC? Socio-economic.
Yes, sir, I'm aware.
So what is the subtle difference? Now Bihar has done it. What is your view or what is your take? Should we go for it or we should not go for it?
So being an engineer, I value data quite much, and the caste census would be a valuable data pool so that we could upgrade and update our policies and fine-tune it with the emerging dynamics that caste presents to India, sir. So I think we should go for it.
But if you are, forward looking, that very survey or that very analysis may accentuate the caste inequality and the tensions within the society. How do you look at it?
Sir, I feel that once a caste survey is conducted and the data is gathered, it may be possible that we should not make public the findings regarding the different population growth of caste. So we can also, so from this step, sir, we can also collect the data as well as reduce the caste tensions that you, sir, rightly pointed out.
Okay. Now, your foreign service is the choice number 2.
Yes, sir.
How do you remember, or in which way we should remember the G20 presidency? India contributed uniquely.
Sir.
India G20 presidency.
Sir, I think one picture comes to my mind from G20, that is all the world leaders bowing down before Gandhiji.
Okay.
And I think that is the message that we should present to the world, that
Okay.
of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam and a non-violent world order.
Something
every
else
sense.
also India did for Global South.
Sir, it was able to inculcate African Union into the G20 by expanding it. The National Biofuel Alliance was also there to help Africa with its fuel problems. So these are something that I could recall right now.
Okay, what are the constraints of the UN system
Sir,
in the present context, and what needs to be done, or what is the India's propagation to bring reforms into the UN system? What India is advocating?
so the primary problem that ails UN is the UN Security Council and the veto of the 5 permanent members, which do not actually represent the current geopolitical realities. In this line, sir, India has always said that the UNSC should be reformed and more number of permanent members should be included so that a democratic institution in its right letter and spirit can be formed.
Okay, now the chair started with Asian geopolitics.
Yes, sir.
So my last question,
Sir.
geopolitics and geoeconomics.
Sir,
Which one determines which one? Is it geopolitics influencing geoeconomics or geoeconomics influencing geopolitics? Your take.
sir, I feel they both go hand in hand.
How? Give me example.
Sir. So for example, sir, let's take the Middle East crisis, sir. So the geoeconomics was that US was interested in Middle Eastern oil. The geopolitical repercussion was that India started supporting Israel and Saudi Arabia no matter what, so that they could keep the supply chains of oil intact. Now fast forward after 2010, sir, when US discovered the shale gas. Now its geoeconomic purpose has been solved, so it has started to revert back to its Monroe Doctrine and trying to get out from the Middle Eastern region. So the geopolitics is affected. So this is how both things run in tandem, sir.
Now my last question.
Sir.
Reform, transform, and perform. What is your understanding about these 3 words?
So this was the mantra given by Honorable Prime Minister for our bureaucratic system under Mission Karma Yogi, which means that we should reform.
Who will do the reform?
Sir,
He also qualified,
Sir.
Honorable Prime Minister, reform, perform and transform.
Sir.
Who is responsible for reform? Who is responsible for performance? And who is responsible for he qualified it. That is the intent of my question.
Sir, reform should be bring from the political leadership. They would
Right.
give us the policy directions. Performance is up to us, the young generation and the bureaucrats that are being selected to perform to the level that our constitutional makers wanted to. And transform, sir, is the collective society. So
The citizens.
The
Okay.
citizens, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, sir.
When are the interviews starting?
So 2nd of January.
So you have the first lot.
Yes, sir.
And it's in the forenoon or afternoon?
Sir, afternoon session.
Okay. All the best. We'll
Thank you,
call
sir.